and welcome to the Ramcast. I'm your host, Savannah, and I'm here with our special guest, Devin!
What's up? It's Devil Entertainment, the one and only.
Very nice to have you here today. How's your day been so far?
Not too shabby, just living life, relaxing on winter break.
So I heard that you are going to Illinois College for criminal justice.
Oh yes, I'm trying to better the world in any type of way that I can and make a good money while I'm doing it. I'm really trying to get into federal parole officer. Why? I want to deal with people when they get out of prison. In my opinion, I feel like we don't help our prisoners as much as we should, because once they get out, they either have a addiction or some source of why they were in prison, and they obviously will go back to doing what they did to get back into prison. And they obviously know that they can get back in prison, but they just rather do the act instead of doing anything else. So I really want to help people not just get back on the right path of not going back to prison, but bettering themselves in life after they get out of prison.
I think that's extremely noble of you, and I very much respect you for that in that instance. Is college and kind of university life in that instance, is it really extremely difficult and pressurized and etc., like I've heard from my brother and teachers?
In my opinion, college is, and this is going to sound like cliche or cringy, college is what you make it, really, because if you don't like challenges, I wouldn't go to college if I were you, because in my opinion, already I'm going into my second semester sophomore year, and I already done unnecessary, in my opinion, dumb stuff in college that I really didn't need to do. And I'm trying to be a federal parole officer, and I have to do stuff that doesn't have anything to do with my major at all. So I'm like, what is the point? And other options you can do is trade school, and I respect people if you're trying to get any type of, the right way to make money. So if you're doing that, I would definitely keep doing that, and I respect your hustle. But like I said, college is kind of like what you make it. I'm going to Illinois College, like I said, for football and my academics. I'm not there on a football scholarship, so that makes me want to play football even more, because they didn't offer me for that, and the school that I go to only accepts you for how you did in school. And also another factor of going to IC, which is Illinois College, if you do bad on your SAT or ACT, they'll like throw it out the window. It's okay, and they'll just look at your grade point average and what you did throughout high school, and like if you improved or like did you stay the same with good grades or not. So that's why I kind of like this school. Yes, it's a lot more work, and in my opinion, they say that middle school gets you ready for high school gets you ready for college. Nah, not really, because you never know what's going to be ahead, because none of us is Jesus, so we ain't going to know what's in the future, in my opinion. So we, how do I say this, like, you just got to go on the fly with it and, like, do whatever works for you. If doing your homework 2 weeks in advance and then learning about it so that you can correct it before you turn it in, that's your way to go. Just keep doing that, or do whatever just makes good for you, if that makes sense.
Yeah. As much as I know about college, which isn't a whole bunch because I'm, a sophomore in high school, but with what little I know about it, it is kind of just a roll of the die. You either get, really good odds and you get a college that's not really stressful, it doesn't have too much work on your major, or many other different oddities and things that could be in your favor or could be not in your favor. It just depends on where you go, how you go there, and how you adapt to life in college.
Yeah, if you really don't, if you're not really good at socializing in high school, I wouldn't say it would be hard for you to socialize in college, but it would be a more bigger challenge than socializing in high school, Because, for example, if you have a class that's 2 days a week, but it's an hour and 30 minutes long, almost 2 hours in class, that means you have to communicate and talk to your professor to make sure that you don't miss a very big assignment or something like that. And if you're not good at talking, that's where you're going to struggle at right there. And the college that I go to, it's a little, I want to say a little 100 less than my high school, which is Mount Vernon Township High School. And so I'm kind of used to the big campus, like, if that makes sense. But obviously I just had to get used to living at the school and not, in town of Mount Vernon instead of on the campus of Mount Vernon Township High School, if that makes sense. So the only thing I really had to do is to get used to my professors and my classmates that I would only have for that semester, and so on and so forth from that.
Definitely. It also kind of depends on how, like, not only just how you get there physically to the school or how you get there through, like, a scholarship or whatnot. I feel like it also depends on what happens to you while you're there, or even what happens to your family members while you're there. Because I had my brother who went to college in SIU, and I'm really proud of him. He's done so much. He's really great. He's one of the smartest people I know. Love him to bits and pieces. And he is struggling because one of the first weeks he was there, he got COVID and was quarantined. And I just feel really, really bad for him. It was just such a bad, like, roll, I guess you can say, a bad, like, swing of luck that he got, because it just made him get, like, upset, and I just wanted to, like, be there for him. So I tried to be there as much as I could for him, to be a good shoulder for him, because I know he probably was going through more than just, oh, I have COVID. He was probably going through, oh, I have COVID and I just started, my first year at SIU. I don't want anything to, like, happen badly.
Yeah, I definitely understand that. When you have to learn virtually and you spent so many years of your life learning, like, in-person physical contact with your teacher, and, like, raising your hand and saying, hey, I have a question on this question, but instead you have to press a button and hopefully the professor sees it. And, for example, I had a professor for my sociology class. He's not too fond of technology. He's not the guy that you go to if you want technology, based things or whatever. He's more on the hands-on, and he's more of a hard sheet of paper, if you want to say, and write things down like that. So it was hard to learn from him for sociology if we had to do online Zoom calls for him.
I know I would definitely have a lot of struggle with emailing a teacher or trying to reply to a comment to them, because I was in a situation where I was remote for a little bit, and I have a hard time, like, figuring out what words I need to use instead of actually physically talking.
So switch it out. Go ahead and play, and we'll cut this part out.
All right.
Don't worry about it. We're doing this one. So, like, now that you've had your chance, just, like, say something about you're going to switch out host for a little bit and let Shauna ask some questions.
Switch host to Shauna for a little bit so she can ask a question or two. Shauna, everybody!
All right, hello.
Hello.
All right, so I've got a pretty good question here.
Okay.
I mean, it's a random one because, it's going to completely go off the rails of what we were talking about before. Okay. So if you could eat only one food for the rest of your life, what would it be?
I'm definitely have to give you a broad answer. Anything that my mom cooks. How about that?
Yeah. That is a good answer because my mom, oh my gosh, she makes the best cooking. But okay, for me, the food that I would eat would be pizza.
Pizza?
Yeah, because okay, let me tell you, it's like the perfect balance of like all the food things, depending on what you put on of it.
Yeah.
Like, you got the meat, you got the dairy, you got the grain. Like, it's like the perfect thing. Like, and it might just be the fact that I love pizza. It might just be that. But, either way, I got pizza.
I definitely understand you because, okay, I have a question for you then. So if
Okay.
pizza is your favorite, what kind of pizza? One,
Oh,
two,
no.
like one from what place?
Okay, this is gonna seem like a sin, but my favorite is Hawaiian. I know, oh my god. I don't know why, but there is such like a thing where like people hate like ham and pineapple pizza.
Oh,
I don't know why. Oh no. Do you not like it?
nah, that's not nah.
See, exactly proves my point. And also from where I mean, I've ate a whole bunch of pizza, you know. I mean, I'm not gonna say I'm a pizza expert, but you know, I'm getting there. Ow, I just hit my glasses on the microphone. But you know, I like mine from Pizza Hut actually.
Pizza Hut.
Yeah.
I'm more of a Domino's type of guy, and I definitely like.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, Brooklyn style cutting squares.
Yeah.
That's what I really like in the thin crust. So if I'm not mistaken, that's what it's called.
Yeah. Only thing about Domino's is I think they cut their slices too big.
Yeah.
Cause like I mean I can like of a regular size I can eat like half a pizza, but like when I get to Domino's I only got like 2 slices, and it gets messy.
Yeah.
Cause like it's so big, you're like trying to hold it, and you have to hold it with 2 hands, and like you can't hold that on one plate. Like you have to like stack them up and like. Although I guess
definitely
that's
see what
another
you mean.
good thing, because I guess like more for your money then.
I definitely see what you mean. And Domino's can be expensive though.
Yeah.
It's just you gotta watch it here and there.
You want to talk about anything else?
What's your favorite breakfast food?
My favorite breakfast food, I actually just got this off of TikTok actually. And it's called look if you want to, you can look it up. It's called a Biscuit Bomb, and a Biscuit Bomb consists of obviously a biscuit. You just cut it in half before you bake it, and then you cook your eggs however you please, and then you put your either sausage or bacon. I prefer bacon, and then you put your shredded cheese on top, and then you put the top of the biscuit on top of all of that, and then you kind of like smush the sides of the biscuit so that it can, like, you know,
that sounds really good.
and then you bake it in there for about 20 minutes, 25-ish minutes. Make sure you get it all brown and, you know, get a good crunch from it.
Ooh.
And then you got all in one, really.
Yeah.
So
I mean, my favorite breakfast food is pancakes, but recently, because I haven't had a lot of time, I've been making like breakfast shakes in the morning. This is actually a funny story. This is a year ago. Like, I was on remote learning, and I was in the kitchen. I was making a breakfast shake with like this little blender I had, and I was mixing it up, and I turned it on, and all of a sudden, the thing just exploded everywhere.
Oh.
And I wondered why. And then I realized I forgot to take the spoon out of the blender cup before I put it on the thing. And so I spent like the next 2 hours cleaning up peanut butter in my kitchen because that's what flavor it was.
Oh, man.
It was peanut butter. It was really good.
So what all did you have in the shake besides peanut butter?
Milk, ice. Yeah, I don't know why I put ice and milk together. I don't know why I thought that was a good idea, but I mean, it works. I mean, it doesn't taste bad, but like, it makes it very watery afterwards. It's very good though.
So you had milk, ice, and peanut butter?
Yeah, and it works.
Alrighty.
Don't laugh at me. It works.
Okay. That's an interesting combination.
So this is Casey over here. You know, she's one of my best friends. She's really cool. I there goes that. And then Savannah's back. There's that. She's right here. She's pretty cool.
Hi.
So you guys have any questions? Like just stuff you have to ask? Because I can't. Oh, Casey, you have questions?
Yeah.
Casey, you'll have to be loud.
You gotta be loud,
You'll have to
Casey.
Project a little bit. That
Okay.
mic's a little further away from
Are you more of a cat or a dog person?
Honestly, my mom, she would make this joke that we are her mammals, so we don't have any animals at home. So I've never had a pet or anything like that. I've never been that type of person to be like, Stripes here is my best friend and I talk to him all the time. I've just never had that, so.
You know,
My mom.
funny enough, I'm the exact opposite. Like, I have 7 cats, 2 dogs, and I actually have, like, it's chaotic in my house. Like, all the time, there's always stuff being knocked over. The dogs are tall enough to where they can get on the counter. You know, funny enough, one time my cat stole a hamburger off of the counter, bigger than her head.
What?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, my house is chaotic. We got cats going in the house all the time. I love cats though. Just because, you know, I think they're a lot calmer than dogs. Like, that's just my personal opinion, is that they're just a lot calmer. The only thing about it though is I think they're more like, you have to manage them more than dogs. It's that sort of type thing,
I
because
have 2 dogs at home.
Yeah.
And, like, they don't really do too
because
much.
like cats, they need a litter box. Like, dogs don't.
Just go outside.
Yeah, exactly. That's like the thing there, is because like cats are harder to manage, but they're easier to like. They're easier to take care of, I would say. No, taking care of them and managing them is the same thing. What am I saying? I guess energy-wise, they're better if you're like a calmer person.
After you saying you have 7 cats and like how many dogs again?
2 dogs.
2 dogs? I have 2 dogs. But now that you say that, I see the sheer amount of cat
Oh,
and
yeah,
animal fur on you.
My cat decided to jump on me this morning, and I didn't have time to like shake this off. It's usually what I have to do with like all of my clothes, because no matter what, even if I have not touched an animal in 3 days, I will still somehow have cat or dog hair on me.
I know that feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's so annoying. Like my mom's boyfriend, he's like constantly buying like lint rollers and stuff, trying to get the animal hair off, and it just does not work.
Great.
Granger!
What's up, buddy?
Hey.
Yeah, this is Granger, everybody.
He snuck in.
Hello.
Our senior friend.
Granger, do you have a question?
I have one question. I do have one question. If you ever use whenever you have I'm mostly more like a tech type of person. If you ever had to use one operating system on a computer for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Operating, you mean like,
Like,
can you give me an example so I know?
like there's Windows or
Oh,
Mac
okay.
OS.
Definitely Google, because, you know, Google is the go-to for, like, almost anybody. And if not, I hope she doesn't turn on, but Siri. Siri is the,
Yeah, Siri might be a little mad at this, you know.
yeah.
She might just say, no, you ain't using your phone
Yeah,
no more.
They
Just
get
throw me
mad
out,
at
I'm
each
useless.
other, you know, here and there. So, yeah, definitely one of those two, because I usually just ask one of them a question and go from there, really.
Well, I think Google is definitely the one to go for, because, they're one of the richest, right? You know?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so, you'd think that they would be one of the more advanced ones.
Siri's richer.
Oh, yeah, Siri.
I don't believe that.
Apple's worth $3 trillion.
I thought Google was richer.
Google's only worth $2 trillion.
Hold up,
Wait,
hold
how
up,
long
hold the
have they,
phone.
been around?
I gotta see this. That's it. I'm Googling it.
Well, while Shauna Googles that, we got a couple of phoned-in questions for our guest. One of which is, have you ever made a podcast, or do you just like to listen to them? And French Revolution.
No.
That's all it says. Is French
Oh,
Revolution. So I guess
well-
just like, what do you think about it or remember it from school?
Okay. I found an answer. According to Quora.com, Shirley Shalin is the person who posted this. The net worth of Apple is 2 times more than Google.
No.
What? That is.
Shirley.
What is this? Shirley, how could you? Net worth are as follows. Apple is $750 billion and Google is $498 billion. How? I thought Google literally owns YouTube.
Okay, can we get back to
All right.
Savannah's question?
Oh yeah, sorry.
We got our phoned-in questions, but one of them's just French Revolution. So I guess
French
that'll.
Revolution. Why?
That's
Why do
what you remember about it from school, or how much you use it in a day-to-day basis, I guess.
Yeah, I definitely don't remember anything. History is like the lowest of lows that I try to remember.
Understandable,
Yeah.
honestly. And the other one was, have you ever made a podcast, or do you just like to listen to them mainly?
I really do. I really wanted to start one, probably right before college, to see what would happen, because I don't know how familiar you guys are with any YouTuber in general that was in college. Most of them, if not, I want to say probably 85% of them have became more rich than what they were going to be if they would have continued going to college. Like, for example, if you guys know DDG, I knew him back in probably like 2015, 2016 when he went by his full name, Pontiac made DDG. And that was probably almost 7 years ago now. So he dropped out because he realized YouTube was paying him more than his professor that was trying to teach him how to make money. So he was like, what's the point of going to school? So he dropped out, and now everybody knows who DDG is, so you know. But to answer your question differently, I would say I love just watching podcasts in general. For example, I don't know if you guys are too familiar with I Am Athlete, but it's a podcast with former NFL players, such as one of my favorite ones, Chad Ochocinco. His original name is Chad Johnson, and him and Brandon Marshall and Fred Taylor and I think one other two other guys, they'll always have a special guest. And I want to say probably like a year ago they had Deion Sanders, maybe not even a year ago, probably like 9 months ago maybe. Deion Sanders, for example, and he was explaining what he wants to change about college eligibility and college. How do I say it? Like people making the decisions on where they want to go to for schooling, and why he says that because he wanted to compete with the Power 5 schools for football, and that is the ones that you see on TV. And he is a coach of Jackson State, which is an HBCU, historical black university, and he wanted to have more African Americans that are high class athletes that are basically getting paid when they're already in high school to come to HBCU so that it can put more black universities on the map, not just Alabama and Georgia and all those Power 5 schools. Because the question he put out there, would you rather go to a school that you don't get looked at as much and play a lot, or would you rather go to a school that's on TV a lot, but you're just sitting there on the sideline, just sitting and saying that you play for Alabama, but you don't get in the game at all? So
I think that sounds really interesting.
Yeah. Okay. Now bringing it back to that whole like YouTubers who drop out of college thing, one person who I can really think of is Markiplier.
Oh,
He was in college to become an engineer, and he dropped out to pursue YouTube. And like he's one of the biggest gaming channels in like the world now. You know, it's he has like sponsored stuff with YouTube and now like all of that.
I don't know too much of him, I guess.
Yeah, he's really cool. I watch him a lot.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, yeah, I'm into a whole bunch of like gaming stuff. You know, Minecraft, all that. Do you play any video games?
I used to play Minecraft, honestly, when it first came out, I would say probably when I was in 7th, maybe a little 8th grade, basically just middle school in general. And like, I don't know if you ever played it on your phone, but I played it until like almost all my fingers are numb. Not even numb, but they fell asleep because I only use my thumbs. So I'll just only be using those, and then all my other fingers will fall asleep. That's how long I would play it for.
I actually played about 8 hours of Minecraft yesterday, so
I have good memories with Pocket Edition. I remember having friends and stuff that I don't see often, and we would play on our world together for like a couple hours, and then we'd separate for the rest of the year. I wouldn't see them.
Oh, is Mr. Golson finally coming in?
Can I join?
Yeah, come on in.
Here comes one of the biggest men of the hour that we know,
Have you
Mr.
watched, like,
Golson.
Mr.
Hold on,
Golson.
hold on.
Say it again.
Have you watched like any like type of crime shows?
Crime shows?
Yeah, like Criminal Minds, Law and Order, NCIS, CSI.
See, this is the perk of going to college, and I give all the credit to Angela Balfi because she is my professor, and like I spent so much time. I know I'm giving you like my miniature life story, but I'm sorry. I spent like so much time with her outside the classroom, and she breaks down that you don't just go off of like criminal minds and stuff like that, because this past semester I was in her criminal investigations class, and basically that's like you right now getting thrown into the actual criminal mind stuff, if that makes sense. And she like threw us into it so that we can pick it up and learn, like how I did with him with the camera, because when I first started with AV, didn't know anything about cameras. I was just like, I just want to do a video or something, because I had a YouTube channel already, but I was just editing on my PlayStation, and I wasn't the best of editing, so I knew he worked with cameras, so I asked him, could I come in here and learn. And back to your question, basically Criminal Minds and all the shows that you can think of, throw that out the window. It's all scripted. And you can probably recall from that any like criminal investigations class, probably 5 to 10% of it. The only thing that they will really do is obviously who did it, why they did it, and all that stuff. That's the only thing that's real from the shows. Other than that, I would definitely just watch that for entertainment, because when you do get into your field, if you want to be a criminal justice person, it's the total opposite. Like, I didn't even, like, I'm into that stuff. I'm into, like, more of a documentary type of stuff, like Charles Manson, if you know who that is. He's, like, a famous killer, and then, like, I like watching stuff like that, and, like, when they, like, interviewed him after he did all that stuff, and he was like, yeah, I just wanted to do it and stuff like that. That's just interesting to me. And, like, honestly, it's just super interesting, because it's not just, oh, they want to do it. Why did they want to do it? Like, what drove them to go kill somebody and doing it for fun, even though it's a crime? And, like, it's more psychological. And, like, you have to look into their brain, basically, and, like, pick their brain apart of what traumatized them to want to do this. And it's just super in-depth of, like, that class just really helped. It just, I don't know how to furthermore explain that, but it's way more than what you think it is. It's not just, oh, we have to find this person and I think we know where they're at. Bam. No, you just broke so many like laws that you can't just, oh, we think it's him, we're gonna go high-speed chase track him down. No, you can't do that.
Well,
That
I have
answers your
something
question.
to mention. Sadly, Shauna must go.
No, I just told my dad to wait. Basically, my dad is sitting in the parking lot right now, just waiting for, for me to come out there. He's like, how long is it going to be? I said, I don't know.
Okay,
You can wait.
we are getting low on time, but
I do have another question.
okay.
So, ever since you've been to AV, how much video experience do you have now?
Wait, what's the question again?
Like, ever since you've been into
Since AV, what new video experience? Do you have any new video experience, or have you?
Honestly, I wish this is going to sound crazy, I wish I didn't graduate. Why? Because I don't have this nice, expensive camera crew, all the nice technology, and I can't have access to the editing softwares, and I don't have him right next to my side kind of asking him, hey, how do you do this, or just looking up on YouTube. I mean, I have that, but honestly, the only camera source I really have, and it sounds generic, but iMovie right now for me, and then like other editing softwares I can use, and I have the second newest iPhone, so it has as good as these cameras, if not
probably better.
if
Probably
not better.
Yeah.
Because
Really good.
like for example, the last video, if you look up on my YouTube channel, Hunter Simmons Senior Highlights, I shot that with my phone.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, that's a really
didn't know
good
that.
camera. Yeah.
Okay. Well, we got you with us, and we're running low on time. I'm just thinking, like, one of the key things, and I think, like to really help people, just these guys and everybody that hears this, something about you that I think just worlds people could learn a lot about is just your confidence and, like, I don't know, could you give people tips about, just like being cool and talking to people and not being uptight and not being like you get the most connections with people really well. You make good connections with people really well. Do you got any tips for that?
one video I could definitely push you towards, and I'm not trying to like. I mean, I guess I am. I'm promoting another YouTuber, I would say, because I'm like 95% always on YouTube if I'm not playing a PlayStation or whatever. But Eric, it's his YouTube channel, ARRACK. Eric. He snuck into the Jake Paul versus Nate Robinson fight, or Mike Tyson and versus Roy Jones Jr. It's probably a year ago now. And he sneaks into big events. And one thing I kind of got from that video is don't confuse your confidence for your cockiness, if that makes sense. Like, if you walked in here, oh, I run the show, like shoulders so high and no one can touch me and this and that, people are going to look at you different. But if you walk in there and you say, hi, I'm this person, this and that, and keep it simple and just go with the flow. Don't like try to do nothing out of the ordinary. You should be fine, really. And don't like overthink it. Like have your armpits dreading with sweat and forehead. You know, like I could be sweating right now because like I'm not the best with public speaking, but I bet you couldn't tell that right now.
No.
Like, because I'm like so super.
Anybody tell?
nervous.
Think he's a good public speaker?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
nah.
You think?
I believe so.
For once in my life, I'm actually not nervous like doing all of this.
No, you're no nervous at all. No, you're not nervous.
nervous whatsoever. I'm just like openly talking. I'm just here. I'm chilling here. You know, asking questions about food. I need a snack. Like
This
I'm hungry.
All right.
this year for me has been the year where I've completely turned kind of into Devin in the way of like I am one of the most shy people ever, except for this year. I've changed, and I've been trying to change myself to not be so shy about talking to other people or so shy about talking to, you know, a drive-through worker for my food. I'm actually getting more aggressive with talking to people I don't like now.
Yeah.
Oh no, I
There's
completely
no reason to be
understand
shy
that.
most of the time. All right. Do we have any? Okay, hold on.
I was
Because we're
gonna-
running out of time. It's about 4:15. I think that everybody needs to leave.
I was just gonna say, like, I still can't even order my own food from like restaurants. I'm just like, Mom, can you go get me chicken nuggets?
Don't get me wrong.
I think you could do it. I think you could do it. You could do it.
Don't get me wrong. I still can't do doctor appointments. Still can't. Won't ever.
Does anybody have any? Okay. Do we have any final thoughts before we wrap this up? Anything you wanna close with?
You can ask me anything right here, son.
Look at Devin's
do you have
shirt.
any siblings?
Do I have any siblings? Yes, I'm the youngest of 7.
Oh,
Youngest of
I-
7.
My mom would know how you feel.
I understand that completely.
I understand it too. I'm the youngest, and my brother bullies me every time he sees me.
I'm the youngest of 3 older brothers, and yeah,
I would love
But
that.
that's about it.
I guess the only thing that's funny is that
Basically in the middle.
I'm the second.
the thing that's funny is that my brother bullies me, but I'm still the favorite. So
I'm the baby, so I get spoiled.
I'm
All right,
between,
hey.
between
Host,
4 sisters.
take us out, host.
Alrighty.
You're the official host.
This has been the Ramcast. If you'd like to hear us more again, look for the next episode.
And don't
You know?
forget to thank your guests. That's really important.
Yeah. Thank you so much,
Thank you
Devin.
so
Let's give him
much,
a round of
Devin.
applause, everybody.
Thank you.
It was very much an honor to see you, and I was very glad to meet you.
Really cool. And and I really want to appreciate the fact that Devin is a football guy and a sports guy, and none of us are. I mean, and so we still found something to talk about.
Nerd
Yeah.
crew.
But,
Nerd crew.
what's
He's
your
a
favorite
pancake.
operating system, Devin? You like Windows or Linux?
I'm a Google guy.
All right. Show's over, everyone.
Show's over.